Ano ang matao? If anybody can figure out what language that is, please comment down below. And remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel. So what's up, people? My name's Taylor. I'm coming at you with the 17th podcast. The
17.
podcast is called the Outbreak Series Podcast, and it's where I track the coronavirus in the United States, into West Virginia, my home state, and pretty much all around the world now. Been doing this since the middle of March or so, okay? So, unfortunately, we've hit a milestone here in the United States. We have surpassed 100,000 fatalities from the coronavirus, just in the U.S., and we also have 1,700,000 plus total cases so far. A lot of stuff going on. So, the state of affairs in the United States right now is terrible. You have all kinds of different things happening. So, I want to try to make this quick today. I want to touch on Brazil. Been talking about Brazil. Just check the numbers. They have over 418,000 confirmed cases in a very short amount of time, with nearly 26,000 lost down in Brazil. My indigenous people and my people in the favelas are definitely feeling it, as well as everybody else, except their president, not so much. I'm not going to get into that. Comment down below if you want. So, like I said, the state of affairs are terrible right now in the United States. First of all, we're dealing with this pandemic that has taken over 100,000 lives, and each one of those lives is a person. Like I've said before, it's a mother, it's a father, it's a grandmother, grandfather, brother, sister, friend, whatever. And there's been a lot of them. So I'm going to touch on this very briefly. If you haven't heard, if you don't watch the news or you don't read the paper, George Floyd was a black guy living in Minneapolis, and someone taped a group of police officers, I guess arresting him, or whatever you want to call it. One officer had him on the ground, had the knee in his neck area, and after George Floyd pleaded on camera with the officer to let him up, he couldn't breathe, he was going to die. Officer didn't do it, and right now he's dead. So we've had some things going on in Minneapolis and many other cities, a lot of protests, a lot of looting, some fires. And remember, the Ahmaud Arbery case down in Georgia just happened as well. And that's very fresh in the minds of a lot of black people and in the minds of a lot of people in general. So protests happened, over 30 fires, stores were looted, tear gas, rubber bullets had to be used, supposedly by the police officers. I just want to say this, that when things like this happen, you see on the news black people looting. Well, the looting and the burning was not just black people, it was black people, white people, Hispanics, everybody that is against this. And in a way, sometimes that may be the only outlet for people to show their frustrations about what's going on in their country, in their neighborhoods. So before you, just think twice before you judge those that are participating in those riots and such. It's just, I know it's difficult. Let's get on to something else here. So basically here in the last 10 weeks, we've had 40 million people file for unemployment in this country. So obviously our economy is screwed up royally. Just 2.1 million more last week alone filed for unemployment. It's not good. I start back work tomorrow, So it'll be nice to get back on the grass and walk that 8 miles. It's going to be different. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep you posted, okay? All right. And to get back, I know I'm all over the place here, but to get back on the George Floyd issue in Minneapolis, the officer, I believe his first name is Derek, that had his knee on Mr. Floyd, had 18 complaints of excessive force in his career up to this point. So it's not like this was the first time for him and all that. So yeah, I watched Cuomo, the governor of Georgia, the governor of New York, sorry about that, speak today, and he has a way with words. I enjoy watching him talk. He has empathy. He seems very smart. But one of the things that he was talking about, and we're already at 6 minutes here, so I'm going to have to speed this up, is that early when this pandemic was starting, January, February, March, people were looking to China because that's what the executive branch of this government kind of said. It's coming from China, so Trump didn't even block flights from China, but blocked some of them. But now we find out that basically it was coming from Europe. So during the months of January, February, and March, over 3 million Europeans landed in New York airports. So that's one of the reasons that New York, along with its population density, that's one of the reasons that New York got hit so hard with this, and is still feeling the brunt of all this. I believe just yesterday there were still 73 people that passed away from the coronavirus. The numbers have gone down, but it's been bad. So I'm going back to work tomorrow, and I live in West Virginia. I know I got my O's hat on, but this is back when Cal Ripken, Eddie Murray, all those boys played. So I got my love for the Orioles. That's before the Nationals were playing in D.C., but I always got love for my Orioles too, okay? But anyway, West Virginia is one of 12 or 13 states that are still seeing increased numbers of positive cases of the coronavirus. Just want to throw that out there. Also, there are many little hotspots in New York. So, you have neighborhoods. For instance, the Flatbush neighborhood of Brooklyn is a hotspot. You have, over 40% of the people in that neighborhood have had the coronavirus, whereas in many other parts of New York City and New York State, it's been 20% or lower. Another borough that's been hit hard in New York is the Bronx as well. Population density, big factor there. Let's see what I got here. I was going to write down some other stuff, but I didn't. So, anyway, I'm enjoying a nice afternoon on the deck here. What are you doing today, guys? Make sure you subscribe to my podcast. Make sure you comment down below if you have anything that you want to say or you want me to say, or you can private message me, and we'll talk about it. But I hope everyone's doing well. I'm very anxious to get back to normal here. I'm very anxious to start playing golf, start walking the golf courses. My son has the Callaway Tour starting. The first event's coming in a few weeks, so we got to get some practice in. My daughter's at Blue Bend today with one of her friends, so things are slowly, very, very slowly but surely, getting back to normal. This country is very resilient because of its diverse population. So, I love you guys. And like I said, this is Podcast 17. Please subscribe. And I'll be back with you soon, okay? All right. Peace.